All right, so this whole topic today, what was it? 30 grand in 4 hours. A business that actually does that. That is mind numbing for me to even think about. And the first time I heard it, it was kind of like, oh my gosh, that's crazy awesome. And then a couple days later, it kind of came to me in a different light. And I thought the same thing. Okay, 30 grand in 4 hours. And the immediate question that came to my mind is, why? Why would anyone want that? Because what we seem to kind of hear from a lot of people is, you know, how much it takes to make that happen. So,
more money, more problems.
Exactly. So, let's start here. Do you think Back Mountain Microgreens will ever get to 30 grand in 4 hours?
Sure. Why not?
You think so?
Probably not between the two of us without sleeping, but
yeah,
over time, sure.
Yeah,
any business could.
And that kind of takes you to like the one
camera wobble. Dog walked over the camera.
Did he? The one issue that it seems like everybody in small business has, which is employing other people.
When to expand?
Yeah.
When is it? When is the right time to take away the money that you're making and give it to other people to help you make more?
Yeah.
I listened to a podcast the other day where a guy was in his backyard doing stuff up to 50 employees. I'm sure he had a very large backyard, but up to 50 employees. But now he's up to, I think, 180. But he still had 50 employees in his backyard before he took a leap to get out of his backyard into a building. That's a lot of people.
So much trust. I can't even.
But he started with himself, and then his wife and his kids, and so on and so forth. And I'm sure it was friends, and then build from there. But
I guess the whole point is it would take us so much. Like right now, we're investing our own personal time, our own personal involvement. But you would have to give out so much trust to be able to make that happen. I can't even imagine. Mm-hmm. There's no way. There's not enough time in the day for the two of us to make 30 grand in 4 hours on our own. Mm-hmm. Obviously the orders could come in, but the stuff that it would take for us to be able to do in the background.
Yeah, you can get $30,000 worth of orders, but to fulfill $30,000 in orders in 4 hours between the two of us, no way.
Yeah.
It takes us over. I start at 6 o'clock in the morning harvesting, and we don't finish until noon.
Yeah.
It's 6 hours of harvesting between the two of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not $30,000.
In 4 hours. Yeah, in 6 hours. Even. Yeah. So, all right. What about the thing that came to me when I was thinking of it was, why? Why would you even want that? And it kind of comes down to a little bit of what people deal with when they hire people, which is stress. It's just, you might have that much money, but you may not be happy. Is it even worth it? What's your thoughts on that?
Money doesn't buy happiness.
That's kind of a hard pill to swallow.
But it could buy you a boat. And it could buy you a truck to pull it.
It could.
Yep.
But even if you had the money and the boat and the truck, would you be happy?
Give it a shot.
You gonna let me know when?
Give it a whirl. When I have that much money to have a boat and a truck, I'll let you know. I'll send you a postcard. And see if it's got a smiley face on it or not.
Yeah.
Not sure if this is entertaining for anybody or not, but we're just kind of.
I don't know. I go back to the doing the, what do you call it? The up on stage thing for the business development center or whatever that was a couple months ago. And the one lady was talking about when you have your own business, it's constant, is it worth it? Is there enough money left in the bank to pay the bills for the business, pay yourself and things like that? And it's just I would love to see a ratio of people who have their own businesses who are really thriving. Is the stress of it worth it? I look back on, you've worked for yourself before. I've never worked for myself before. I've worked in corporate settings and stuff like that. And you get paid, and then at the end of the day, you get to leave, or I should say, at the end of the day you get to leave, and then, at the end of the week or every 2 weeks you get paid. That's kind of the trade-off, is you get to just walk away. When you have your own business and somebody calls off or something goes south, you know, you're at the helm. You don't really just get to walk away from that. And I think,
But that's the that's the difference of the point of owning your own business is the relationship, is the ownership of it. You know, like
yeah,
you when you work for somebody else, you call off yourself. You're like, hey, not coming in today. Could be because it's a beautiful day. Could be because you're sick. Who knows?
yeah.
Nobody,
And we just had that conversation this morning. Neither
No.
one of us want to work today because it's so beautiful out.
nobody knows. Nobody cares. But you don't care
Yeah.
because you're not vested. But when you're vested into the business, you know, even as management, I was management. I hated when people called off because I had to fill in. I
Yeah.
wasn't owner of the business, but I was high enough up to be vested that, well, now it falls on me. Or I've got to get somebody else in here or push it on to several other people to get stuff done.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you own it or you don't own it. I mean, somebody's taking a hit if nobody's around. You're vested, whether you're personally vested because you own it, so then you're personally and financially vested.
Mm-hmm.
But a good manager at a place should be vested because that's where you have somebody that's
But then
involved.
that goes back to the issue of trying to hire people. What if you don't hire that person? What if the person you have, the manager,
That's why you gotta
you know,
hire
I think
people.
that's the biggest fear is, my gosh, for us to grow, we would have to hire somebody. And like the one guy that we follow talks about having like a production manager and a cleaning lady. Okay, a cleaning lady's different. We've tried to like get the kids to do that. We can't even get our kids to, you know, really want to take care of the cleaning part of it or whatever. But, you know, the production manager, I mean, it's, you need to be like a green thumb. I'm not a green thumb. You know, you're more
It's
that
just like
part
any
of it.
position.
So
You gotta
yeah,
get the right people in the
there's-
right spots.
Exactly, and it's just, it goes back to the stress, and I can't even imagine the level of stress at that point where there's so much happening, you know, that it would
The podcast.
the stress wouldn't be a killer. Like,
Gail's talking about something different than what I'm going to say. The podcast that I was watching was for a guy, and he was doing stuff in his basement, in his backyard, you know, in an outbuilding. Now he's a $17 million company, which is fantastic. But
and that happened in the space of what, 5 years?
5 years, yeah. But he talks about it and says it's a lot,
Yeah.
you know, and it's an investment.
And then him and his wife are at the point of like, oh my gosh, is this even going to work?
Yeah, you don't know, but until you go and do it.
And that's another thing. Okay, so we're 3 years in. That guy is 5 years in. It seems like we have a lot of examples in the circle of stuff that we've seen or watched on social media or whatever, where it's like, okay, there was like this big point of a big break or whatever, you know? How, when you're the person and you are in the position of, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if we can swing this. How much longer should we do this? What if you quit right before it takes off? You know, like, what if you give up? Or what if you hang on for 20 years and never get
happens.
that break, and, you know, you're the one that's barely able to pay yourself or pay your bills or whatever.
That's
like,
faith in life altogether.
Yeah,
you know?
but it's such a risk. Like,
but we're Christian by our faith, though, too. I mean, that's
Yeah.
our faith goes deeper than just faith in business.
yeah,
Our faith in God, our faith in waking up in the morning. There was a reason. What's the reason? What's
Yeah.
your why? Why am I going to wake up? Why am I going to go to work? Why am I
and
going
I
to do
think that
this?
was a big part of like why we started and why we wanted to do something outside of the corporate environment from the beginning was, you know how hard I could work. I know how hard you could work. There's no way if we both work together and our skills are complementary that nothing is going to happen. Like, what is the risk of nothing? You know what I mean? Like, we look at our numbers, everything is consistently growing, but at the same time, it's like, you know, it's scary sometimes to think, oh my goodness, like, what do we want to do when we grow up? But then you see the examples of this guy that stuck it out and everything is, you know, working out really, really well.
But he took tons of risks along the way.
Exactly.
And made huge investments. You know,
I think that's the thing, you know, when you're playing with other people's money and it's not really yours to risk. It's like, oh yeah, you know, we could do this, we could do that. But then when it's your livelihood and your family and your house on the line, it's like, oh my goodness, you know, it's totally different.
Are we getting boring for people? Just sitting there? Is this what it's supposed to be? Is this what this is supposed to be? Answer if you're watching this.
Is anybody even watching?
No, nobody's watching.
Nobody?
But if somebody watches this, is this like, where's the meat and potatoes? You know, just want to have a conversation. It's basically like a live podcast.
That's it, though, is what it is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to have a conversation about stuff. And, you know, our podcasts all live?
They don't have to be live.
Right.
No, they could be like,
Edit it and done
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. That was exactly what we tried the first time and wanted to avoid was the editing. So
Yeah, it's too much to edit. There's no reason because you know what editing is. I mean, editing, yes, can cut out, like Gail said, the little nuances and stuff like that, but it's the polishing. And talk about hiring somebody. Anybody that knows anything about doing this stuff, dude, that's an investment and a half. Like spending your time doing that. So
what, hiring somebody
no,
to edit?
yeah, that's what I mean. Like somebody to do all the social media.
We'd be so poor, we
But
wouldn't
I mean,
have any money left.
For us to do it though is the investment. So why do
Yeah.
the investment of the time to do it? Just put it out there. It is what it is. Watch it if you don't want to watch it. Fast forward, click it, play it on. Can you play these on 2-speed, 3-speed?
Yeah, I didn't even know that. On the top right side of the screen, if you like touch it up there.
There,
or
play
double
triple
tap
speed.
it.
Listen to it
Yeah,
faster. Whatever.
exactly.
We're talking too slow or it's not interesting. Look at the highlights.
Yeah.
You know, get the cliff notes and go from there.
Yeah.
So what's the point of this one today? So we're talking about a business. Is it worth having a big business?
No, the whole, is it worth stressing yourself out like crazy to make more money than you could potentially ever spend? I mean, I know that's like a crazy thing, more money than you could ever potentially spend, but just, I think the relationship between money and stress, is it, okay, that's exactly what we were talking about this morning. Is it worth stressing yourself out? If you can't enjoy life, if you don't have the time to take away from your business to enjoy a lavish vacation, is it worth what you're doing as a business? Like, how do you find the balance between putting in enough effort and like giving it a real go and making something of something versus, not doing a lot and not making a lot, but having the time to enjoy a lot?
Yeah.
How do we find that balance? How do we do that? How do other people do it?
Everybody's answer, I guess, is different for everybody. Everybody's got different wants and needs.
So what's our wants and needs?
I think we have all the same needs.
Like 3 or 4 years ago, you mentioned, I used to like take off of work on a weekday when it was sunny and beautiful and go to a baseball game and sit and enjoy the baseball game. And we have talked about that for at least 3 or 4 years, and we still haven't done it.
Yep.
So what are we doing wrong?
Well, we need more customers.
We need more customers?
We need more customers.
That like baseball?
No. That like our stuff, so they buy stuff. Because we don't have time or money to do that.
But if we had even more customers, then my goodness, how would we have more time?
I don't know. But we'd have more money.
That's the automation stuff for the grant. I think we could take care of that, with the grant stuff.
Pardon me. Oh.
Don't do that. It's too nice of a day to do that.
It's a long day already. Well, nobody's watching. Only a couple likes. So, last time we did this, everybody's watching. A different time of day. Or is it nice out? But everybody can be from all over the world. So
yeah.
Maybe it's poopy somewhere else. Somebody should be watching.
What about, so go the other way. You didn't really even answer my question. So my question was, is it worth being stressed out to get an inordinate amount of money? Yes or no? Would you rather be rich or poor? If you're happy, if you have what you need? I don't even know.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I don't know if, I think that's a relative term.
Would you rather be rich in money or would you rather be rich in, like, time and freedom?
I'd rather be rich in relationship. And I'm fine with having a piece of property that I can take care of myself and farm and just live off the land and off the grid and be content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need the yachts and all that.
So the last point that I had written down in the outline was, so there's a guy out there called Mark Sisson. He is in the primal health space, and one of the things he talks about is caloric density of food. And I thought it was a really huge paradigm shift. He says that as a health coach, he's heard of from so many people that their goal is to figure out, well, what all can I eat and not be overweight? Or, how many chocolate chip cookies can I have and still fit into my favorite pair of jeans? And he totally flips that around and talks about how little food can you possibly eat and still get the exact amount of nutrition that you need to be in great shape. And by great shape, I mean, physically active, strong, healthy. And so it's a totally different way to look at it. You know, either you're trying to figure out how much can I have and still fit my jeans versus how little can I eat and still feel amazing. And I think it's kind of similar. You know, the whole question of should we kill ourselves working to make a ton of money so we can enjoy lavish vacations, blah, 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 blah. Or do we kind of cut back how much we work and enjoy everything we have, the beautiful day outside, the puppy sitting next to us, and just maybe not so much worry about, you know, having a lavish lifestyle is kind of just, I just keep going back to the whole thing of how can you make a decent living without being stressed out? And I think it all comes back to the stress of being,
What
for
you
me,
want out of it.
my experience. Ooh, sorry, that was probably really loud. The whole experience for me of being in the corporate world was there was plenty of opportunity to move up the ladder and make more money, but it all came with you don't have a 40-hour work week anymore. You're working 50, 60 hours,
Yeah,
taking
you
meetings
become
at 5
salary.
a.m. because there's somebody else that, you know, was in a different time zone, or you're working late because there's somebody else in a different time zone, or, you know, whatever. And it's just like, you give up so much. You might be making more money, but when do you have time to enjoy it? You know, or even if you could step away from work, the mental part of it, of letting work go and actually being present with your family. So I struggle so much to go from one environment to another, where it's like, okay, we can make our own schedule now, we can do our own things, and it's a beautiful day out. It's a Monday afternoon, and it's like the last thing we want to do is work. We want to be outside, you know.
Yeah,
so
I think everybody does, but you got to work.
Yeah.
Regardless of you own your own place or not. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like we hear more and more and more and more how stressful owning a business is, and you know, we see people struggling, and we struggle with our own stuff, and we just wonder, like, oh my goodness, is everything, what is the most worth it? You know, I guess that's where I'm at.
And different for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a different why, and how you get to that why.
What's your why?
I don't know.
You don't know your why?
Not at the moment. My why's different for everybody. Why am I doing this video? Why do we have our own business?
You said this morning, why are we doing this video? Is because it's the relationships that are important.
Yeah, so. But I'm just saying, like, the why is different for everything.
But you know? Remember, it's not. Because it all ties together. We kind of had that conversation this morning, too, when you said that it was all about the relationships. It's funny because I said this last week was the first week in probably a year or so that I looked at our story page, and it was about how we were all about the focus on relationships and people, and the biggest motivator for that is God. You know, we want to honor and glorify God. We do that by creating good relationships with people, and that microgreens are just the lever or the mechanism that we're using to connect with the people. Yeah. So, you know, nothing has really changed.
We are not the only microgreen place in the world. We are not. Did the world need another microgreen place? No, but that's not it. You know, microgreens is our tool that we use to connect with people.
Yeah.
And connect. I mean, I was at a store last night and connected with somebody.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with microgreens. It just was an interaction. So you connect with people all the time. But this gives us more opportunity to connect with people throughout just our day-to-day. Not forcing people, but like they're obviously calling us for something, and then we interact. A lot of the places, I mean, we've got customers we've had since day one for over 3 years.
Yeah.
That's a great relationship. And then new people that, you know, were only 2 years or 1 year old. Well, we have people that we haven't seen or heard from since day one.
Yeah.
So, you know, but we hope that we made some kind of lasting impact or educational point, and whether it was in personal life, about microgreens, about, you know, faith, that sticks and moves on from there. I think anybody that, you know, you touch throughout your life, you should leave a positive impact.
So if the whole topic for today is like the stress versus the money, how does that relate to relationships with people? If our why has been consistent the whole 3 years, and it's about the relationships, which I think it is, and I think it has been, how do relationships relate to, you know, stress versus the business and time? You're usually really good with.
It relates that all that stuff doesn't matter. That's how it relates. That
Okay.
the relationship is what matters. So we've said this before. It doesn't matter if you buy microgreens from us or not. It doesn't matter if you don't believe in God or not. To us, that's between you and Him. That's it doesn't matter. Nothing matters other than the impact that you put on somebody. It's
Yeah.
you're a blip in a radar throughout somebody's day, and it should be a good blip. The your tombstone. There's a song. There's nothing. It's just a dash. So you've got this date and this date and a dash. So what are you doing for the dash?
Yeah.
And that's every day. So from when you wake up to when you go to bed, there's a dash. What'd you do for your dash? Should be positive.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it always is. I've not always been positive for myself, for those around me. I've, burnt bridges, had bad, circumstances. Everybody does. But you should try to do better and get rid of the stress of it and be more positive and build good relationships.
Yeah.
So the other stuff shouldn't matter. And that's when the stress goes away, when you don't worry about the other stuff.
I was just going to say, this is just what we were talking about in the grow room this morning when I came in and you were clipping the flowers. I feel like all along this business has kind of been, I don't want to say easier for you and more difficult for me, but like the microgreens part of it. I think it's more suited to your skill set with like the culinary background and like people outreach. Like I'm shy, I don't really connect with people a lot, but the relationships are where I really enjoy it, like handling the customer service and texting customers and stuff like that. But I said I've enjoyed doing what we're doing more the past month because I've really let go of a lot of what stressed me out, which was the content creation. And we both kind of talked about that this is our why is the relationship. These whole video series, live on the porch or whatever, is going to be our connection with people. And so it's, for me, even though I don't like video, I don't think I've looked at the camera 2 times the whole time we've been doing this, but I like the conversation. I feel like we can connect with people like this, and I feel like
I don't know with this video. This is long. We might not connect with too many.
I feel like you want to end it. I feel like we're just getting started.
Well, I just want people. I don't want it to be that people are,
Do you realize there's people out there like me who wash the dishes and clean the house who might actually enjoy listening to a conversation that's more than like 5 minutes long?
What?
Okay, were you just talking? Okay, wait, no.
It takes me 4 days to listen to a pod.
I was just gonna say that.
This one's gonna take people 6.
And how long is that podcast?
I don't know. I don't keep track of it.
Is it like a Joe Rogan episode that's like 4 hours long?
It takes me days.
It takes you days.
Days, weeks, months.
No.
Pounds.
Pounds?
Yeah.
What does that even mean? I feel like this is actual meaningful content, though.
It is.
It
is. Who else likes it? Nobody.
Nobody?
People.
Alright. What is...
Keep on talking. Keep on going. What are you doing?
Oh, he flies. There was... Ooh, it looks like he has a stinger. I hope I didn't make him
fly. Buggies. It's the buggy.
I don't
know.
What
else? What did we touch on? Everything that we touched on?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm so sorry.
I had 3 things. Do you think we'd be able to do it with Back Mountain Microgreens? Is it worth the stress to try and make that much money? And the comparison to Mark Sisson.
I think the stress is relative, and you have to figure out how to not have the stress. And
I think that's, if anything is going to resonate with people, that's what's going to resonate with people is the stress. Because everybody deals with it. Everybody's probably, I don't want to say everybody, but a lot of people are in an office today behind a desk, looking out the window, if they have a window, if they're that lucky, and just thinking, oh, I'd love to be outside. That's why.
And then they go outside and get bit by a mosquito. And then they want to go back inside.
They only bother you.
Get flies spawn from hell.
I don't want this thing by me anymore.
Oh, he's got you. He's a buggy.
Yeah, he does. Oh! I just said they only go after you, and he's coming after me. All right. You want to be done?
What was I talking about? Stress. Stress is all relative. It's all there's days that I have stress to the point where it's depression stress.
That'll be a whole different show, maybe next time.
Then there's other days that I laugh it off, but that almost just laughs it off to another day sometimes.
Yeah.
Some days you deal with stuff easier than others. But you put it all together and make it through the day.
I think that's maybe like the secret to the sauce is how do you get that whole work-life balance thing, you know? Whether you're working for somebody else or working for yourself, take money off the table. How do you just have that balance?
When I managed people, I used to say, because everybody has problems, and when people would come in, you can tell their attitude was different. You can tell they were different. And it's easier said than done, but I used to say, leave it outside. Once you come in this door, these are the problems we got to deal with here.
Yeah.
Leave that stuff out there. And if you can't, then maybe today isn't the day for you here. You know, like it's a tough pill to swallow because obviously you need a job, you need that. But if you have time, sometimes you're going to step away. We all need a day to step away.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely have to learn that. I don't step away enough.
I think that's what we talked about. Everything this morning that we want to talk about, that I would love to talk about during this episode now. But you said this morning that the biggest thing is time. You know, we're getting to the point where it's difficult for us to keep up with what we're doing on our own.
Yeah.
I think that's
we don't have the finances to.
Yeah, we definitely are not making $30,000 in 4 hours. That's the problem.
We don't have the finances to get more time, which more time would be get an employee to help. Yeah. We don't have that. I mean, yeah, sure, down the road, anybody. I mean, that's our point is for this business to grow and invest into the community and invest into people. Yeah. And not only invest that with a relationship, we always believe, like you said, touching on dropping that little faith seed into people. But I'm not going to force it down your throat. I just want you to learn by example of how we live and where we're at and how we make it through our stressful times and how we make it through stuff. But the overall is growing the community, good people, good community, right thoughts, right, you know, keeping everything at that moral compass and making good decisions to keep on going. But yeah, ultimately we want the business to grow. We don't want to pull out, you know, close too soon and say, oh, okay, we're done. And then that break was right around the corner. Every time we talk about stuff, and I want to say talk about quitting, but just like throwing around the idea, what else could we do? What else is there? There's always something that pops up, whether it's a big order, whether it's a confirmation that, you know, something. And I really don't know
that there's been a single instance of us considering something else where we haven't been redirected back to exactly what
we're doing is just stay the course. Yeah, stay the course.
Which I think is part of the reason why I kind of changed my schedule and like how often newsletters go out and how often I'm writing the blog posts and looking at the website is because what I was doing was way too stressful and it was not sustainable. So I kind of came back to, all right, then I need to change what I'm doing because I need it to be sustainable. If we're constantly being redirected back to what we're doing, then instead of trying to think of what else we could be doing, I need to focus on how do I do what needs to be done more sustainably and better, you know? And I think it's been 3 years. I think I actually am where I want to be. Is this thing on? Do you just want me to stop talking?
No, listen, so this might only be the second one. It's the comic relief side. The ebbs and flows, you know, of how...
You just cut me off. It's, you engage in conversation the same way that you drive.
Snap. Take it away.
I don't even know what I was saying.
Yes,
it's been 3 years, and I'm finally to the point where I'm comfortable with my social media / content creation schedule. Which
it's been 7 years for our marriage, and she's still not comfortable with me. But 3 years, she's comfortable with this.
Agreed.
Say that?
So we went from like working constantly on social media to you don't really do anything on social media. I don't do anything. I write a blog post every once in a while, send out a newsletter every once in a while.
I look forward to people writing stuff about us so that I can share it. That helps. Anybody wants to write stuff about us, tell me so I can just share it and go, ha, I did something. Because But there's not a lot of time for that. Just a simple photograph takes so much time and effort.
And it goes back to the editing.
Oh, and that's the worst part.
Yeah.
Like, we see so many people that like put up pictures, and I wish that, I guess it's our own problem. Again, the whole stress, it's like we create our own thing. I can take a picture, and it wouldn't matter if it's crooked or this or that or whatever's going on, but you want to make it look good. You want to make it look enticing. You want to make it, because that's what our product is, though, too. But at the same time, I want to take a picture of the tray that you drop on the floor and go, well, that happened.
Well, no, you came to me this morning with a bunch of clamshells that were returns from last week.
Yeah.
And it was like, we don't want to show that we're bringing stuff back that didn't sell. But at the same time, a week in somebody else's fridge, plus the transport there and back, and it still looks like the day we packed it. Yeah. So, I mean, that's great. Yeah. But, you don't want to take a picture of a thing with an expiration date on it that's a week old and be like, here, buy this, Yeah.
But it shows the longevity. We have that discussion. I have that discussion with new customers that are like, oh, I'm not sure if I want this, or how long does it last? Everybody's different too, and we learn that people will come back and be like, it didn't last, and be like, oh yeah, well, where did you have it in your fridge? Oh, it goes in the fridge. Yeah. The same. Education. Good things. So, anyway.
Jeez.
We have a dog down below.
Just about broke the chair.
Somewhere down in here. So.
I think a lot has changed since the beginning, and I think, I don't know.
A lot has stayed the same, too.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Our
commitment to relationship, our commitment to quality, all those things have stayed the same. But because we've found out that the other stuff doesn't matter. It all comes down back to relationship, But
look at when I asked you why. You were like, you almost didn't know what to say. You didn't have
I said it's different for everything, but it all comes when I started talking, we started realizing.
I think maybe in another 3 years, that'll be instant. Like when I say why, relationship. That'll be right there,
Maybe. We'll have to wait and see.
I'm happy, though, that at least my content schedule is not stressing me out anymore.
The big stress out that I have is not even the business. It's life outside of the business. Because it's so much time spent with the business. It's how do I get the other stuff done in order to function? Yeah. We have a property that needs to be maintained. We have children. We have animals. We have vehicles. There's life. Yeah. And that's the stressful part.
Yeah.
The business is still stressful too because we need to make money in order to do all those things. But we need time, and if you're spending one place, one suffering,
I think that's what everything comes down to.
For
is
everybody.
The time, yeah.
Sure it is. There's people that do overtime and work hours, and then they don't get stuff. It's the people used to say, "Oh, I gotta work more so that I get paid to put the kids in daycare." But if you didn't work,
nobody says that.
If you didn't work, but I'm saying if you didn't work, like if you had, obviously everybody's financial situation is different. But if you had a husband and a wife, and the wife and the husband are both working to pay to send the kids to daycare.
Yeah.
If one of you didn't work, you wouldn't need to send the kids to daycare.
I think that's kind of what I'm getting at with this whole video today is at what point does the stress or the extra work it's not worth it anymore because you're not gaining anything other than more stress,
Exactly. Yeah. So you're just making yourself, so it's like stop one or the other or cut something. Yeah. Cut the cord on the part that's bogging you down. But I think since day one, everything stayed the same on the why. The relationship is, the quality, getting more people, getting to know people, getting to learn what it is that they want. So then maybe it's not even a
function of how much money do you want to make. Maybe it's a function of, is there a way that you could advance your why better or differently to have a greater impact?
That's why we're doing these. To get out there for more people.
With less stress, because there's no editing.
That's right. The only stress is sitting here doing this, knowing that I got other stuff to do.
Yeah. That stinks, doesn't it?
But the point is to reach more people.
Is that why you want to hurry up and get done with this? Is because you have other stuff to do?
No. I can sit here all day. I can put all that stuff off. I got nothing.
We could do that one day.
One day.
You and your great voice.
Nobody knows.
All right, you got anything else for this topic? Or
The
should we wrap it up?
troubles I've seen. This is without auto-tune.
I can tell.
You don't even know.
Feel the love.
Nobody knows.
All right, I'm ready to be done. I can't deal with this.
Ebbs and flows. Comic relief. Shakespeare did that. Did you know that? That was who invented it.
Oh
implemented it.
gosh, let it be over. Are we good?
Dead air. It's the worst thing ever. Gotta do something.
You're like, you have to be like the MC. You have anything else? Or?
I'm good. I think we got it. I think we covered it.
I think we did.
We had nobody watching and 2 likies. One's mine, so that's not bad.
I think we had like 80 views on the first video.
Yeah, what happened, people? Let's get it together here.
All right.
Anyway, Luke and Gail, Back Mountain Microgreens. We sell microgreens and edible flowers. And we also sell
Dark chocolate.
oh,
Made with broccoli microgreens. And some of them with black walnuts. What? It's actually pretty awesome stuff. Give it a shot.
And we're working on new flavors, new ideas. So if anybody's got thoughts, throw it our way. Order a bag, because that's what we're all about. It's just selling our stuff to, keep ourselves afloat.
There you go.
So share it with other people. They want to hear about stuff. Want to talk about anything? Let us know. Because we're just coming up with these ideas.
In the comments, yeah.
Yeah. Comment, send us a message. That's all.
We'll go from there.
Yay.